Before we begin the video, I just want to say, please watch Season 2 of The Mandalorian, Episode 3. Please watch that episode, okay? Hello guys, Vergil's Pride here, and today, it's time to review Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3. Alright, time to pick off where The Mandalorian, left off. So, we're floating in the distance of space, right? The Mandalorian ship is so unbelievably just destroyed is not even the proper word, like trash. Yeah, trash, that's the right word. But yeah, so they're traveling to this planet, right? And hopefully the Mandalorian can get the ship fixed, right? Some sort of like water planet, some sort of water world, right? So yeah, he enters the atmosphere and he pulls up at the last minute on the dock, and then he lands his ship, right? Fun and games. Had my heart racing, but hey, that's just the Mandalorian. That's how he likes to roll. So after the Mandalorian lands his ship, right, he goes and tries to find the, what's her name? The Frog Lady's husband, right? So that way, you know, he can get his information on where the other Mandalorians are. So they find him. And honestly, that was just a wholesome moment. The Frog Lady and her husband share like a little, I guess, head nod, which is supposed to be a kiss, but again, I don't know, head nodding works in Star Wars. So the frog guy, right, you know, he says, thank you for bringing my wife to me, right? And the Mandalorian's like, you're welcome. So where can I go to, you know, find the Mandalorians that are on this planet, right? So the frog husband, right, he points to this, I guess, saloon, restaurant, bar, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then the Mandalorian takes Baby Yoda and just walks all the way over there. So the Mandalorian walks in, right? And, you know, he sits down with Baby Yoda. He gets Baby Yoda some food, right? And then he's trying to ask some people, like, hey, where are the other Mandalorians, right? And then this guy's like, hey, you know, a buddy of mine can help you out, Mando. You know, and he goes over, you know, to, I guess, some other guy, right? And then this other guy comes out. He's a Quarren, right? And he comes out and he says, yeah, I can take it to some Mandalorians, but it will cost you, right? And he laughs, and I'm like, that's a pure sign that he's gonna friggin', you know, rob you blind, right? And I feel bad for the Mandalorian too, because this is not the first time that it's cost him to go find some Mandalorians. It's like, you know, when the Quarren guy said it'll cost you, I'm like, it already cost him already. What are you talking about? So the Mandalorian's above deck, right? And he's just like chilling with Baby Yoda, right? And the Quarren guy is like, yo, Mando, have you ever seen this like beast or whatever? And the Mando's like, no, I've never seen this beast before, right? And then the Quarren guy is like, hey, I think the child would like to see it, right? It would look cool, you know, for the kids. So the Quarren guy smacks Baby Yoda's carriage into the water, and then the beast comes up and eats it, right? And I was so scared, right? And then the funny part is that instead of shooting everybody on board, Mando just dives on in for Baby Yoda, and then he gets himself trapped, right? And I was like, wow, that's a really 200 IQ move, Mando. I understand you want to save the child, but the child's fine. He'll be fine, dude. He's got the Force. So yeah, Bo-Katan shows up out of nowhere and kills pretty much everyone aboard, right? And then, you know, she helps the Mandalorian get up, and then her friend, I forgot what her name was. It's not Bo-Katan, it's her friend or whatever. She dives on in and saves Baby Yoda. So, thank you for saving Baby Yoda. Bo-Katan removes her helmet, right? And the Mando, you know, the Mando himself, he's like, that's a sin. You cannot remove your helmets. Long story short, there's two sides to being a Mandalorian, right? There's the traditional side where you don't take off your helmet and you just believe, I guess, whatever the original Mandalorian way was, right? And there's the newer way, the more, I guess, modern way to look at it. It's instead of, you can remove your helmet for whatever reason, and then there's something more to it for the modern side, but I forgot what it was. So the Mandalorian like lands on the dock, right? It's nighttime, and he's like, all right, whatever, I'm just gonna go to my ship, I guess, and just get out of here, right? And then things don't end there for the Mandalorian. So the Quarren guy's brother comes out of nowhere, right? And he's like, you killed my brother. And then there's like 8 people surrounding Mando and Baby Yoda. The Mandalorian's like, hey, buddy, we don't have to fight, okay? You guys tried to kill me, so it's only fair I got to kill your brother, even though I didn't kill your brother, but technically somebody else did, so, and all that other stuff. And then, Bo-Katan shows up again with her squad, and she's like, I killed your brother. And then, freaking kills everybody again. It was sick. Oh, man, I love this episode. So, the Mando and Bo-Katan and her squad sit down at a restaurant after literally killing, 8 people, 16 people today. So they sit down, right? And then Bo-Katan is like, so why are you here, Mando? And Mando's like, well, I need some information about the Jedi, right? Because I need to return Baby Yoda to his kind. And Bo-Katan is like, what do you know about Jedi? And then Mando's like, well, I don't know. That's why I came to you, stupid. Seriously. I think one of my favorite parts was definitely Bo-Katan. I did not expect Bo-Katan to show up this early, right? And the funny part is that the actress that actually did the live action version for Bo-Katan is actually the same person who did Bo-Katan in Clone Wars and Rebels. And I was so excited. This was really cool. Bo-Katan is like, hey, we can help each other out, okay? I want to take this Imperial ship and give the weapons to my boys, right? And Mando's like, yeah, no, because he just does not like Mandalore. And he's not wrong, too. Mandalore is one of the worst planets you ever tried to take control of, because the Empire failed, the Jedi failed, Duchess Satine failed. It's like, why rule Mandalore? Let Mandalore solve itself. The Mandalorian is like, sure, all right, I'll help, whatever. Just give me that information that I can use to help Baby Yoda, right? After Mando accepts the deal with Bo-Katan, he takes Baby Yoda to the Frog. I'm going to call him Mr. Frog and Mrs. Frog, right? And Mando is like, hey, can you watch the child for me? And they said yes. The ship is about to take off, right? And then they finally smuggle themselves aboard by just flying. Yeah, you heard me. They just flew. And I'm like, wow, how the hell did the stormtroopers not detect them, right? And friggin' Bo-Katan is such a badass. She kills literally everybody that pisses her off. Well, actually, she's not even mad about it, too. She's just like, oh, you're dead. There's a little badass scene with Bo-Katan. She kills all the stormtroopers, and then the captain is like, hey, what's happening down there? And then someone notifies the captain that, the ship is being raided by pirates. So yeah, they're making their way to the cargo thing, because that's where they store everything, right? It's cargo for a reason. So they get there, right? And they're met with a whole squad of friggin' stormtroopers, right? There's a lieutenant there that's like, sir, what should we do? And, the captain's like, hold them off as best as you can until they can jump to hyperspace, right? Because if they jump to hyperspace, they can rendezvous with the fleet, and the fleet can help deal with these pirates, right? They'll have them trapped. So yeah, they have the Mandalorians trapped. Only it was on the inside of the ship, where they have access to the cargo controls. So, long story short, the lieutenant made an oopsie and got himself thrown out of the ship, along with half of his buddies. So the captain, right, he calls Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon's like, yo, what's up, brother? How you doing? And, the captain's like, yeah, Moff Gideon, we had an oopsie. A couple of Mandalorians came aboard, and yeah, they're taking over the ship. Moff Gideon's like, you know what to do, Captain. Crash this ship. And, the captain takes out his blaster, puts a few holes in his pilots, takes over the pilot controls, and then tries to crash the ship. So yeah, the captain tries to crash the ship, right? And, the Mandalorians catch on to what he's trying to do. So they try to get to the controls, or whatever you call it, the pilot seat, right? And then, they're met with a friggin' squad of stormtroopers, right? One of them has heavy blasters and all that other stuff, and then, they're like, well, we can't go, we're running out of time. Mando takes a couple of friggin' detonators. He's like, cover me, and then he full on Hail Marys and runs into the stormtroopers, right? Thank God he's wearing that Beskar armor, because he would have gotten shot. So yeah, blaster bolts are reflecting off his armor. He throws the detonators, and boom, just dead stormtroopers everywhere. They finally get to the pilot seat. Mando takes control and pulls the ship up at the last minute. Whew, thank God for Mando. Meanwhile, Bo-Katan is actually trying to interrogate this captain, right? She's like, where's Moff Gideon? Because I know he has my Darksaber, and I need that in order to rule Mandalore and unite all of the Mandalorians. The captain puts on a smug grin and he says this. He says, "Why do you even ask me when you already know the truth?" And I'm like, oh, that was a good line. And then what's it called? The captain kills himself by electric taser tooth thing. I don't know. It's a tooth. I don't know how to explain this stuff. It's Star Wars, okay? The Mandalorian is like, all right, I got you your ship. Now tell me the information, which Bo-Katan does. She says, oh man, I love this part. She says, go to Planet Cordova or something like that. And she says, give Baby Yoda to Ahsoka Tano. And I friggin' lost it. I got up on my seat and I yelled, yes, at the top of my lungs. It was so awesome, dude. The fact that not only do we get to see Bo-Katan live action, we also get to see Ahsoka Tano in the next episode live action. With this information, the Mandalorian takes off and, you know, gets his ship, gets Baby Yoda, and he just flies off into the distance looking for Ahsoka Tano. What is the final verdict for this episode of The Mandalorian? Well, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's just amazing. I loved everything I saw. You got Bo-Katan being a badass, you got Ahsoka Tano being in the next episode, episode 4, and Mando himself also being a badass, and you got Baby Yoda being cute and adorable like always. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Vergil's Pride, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay toasty, my friends. Goodbye.